Hey, I know you want to quit, but you've got to keep going right now. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Look, insurance sucks. I'll just make it suck less.
Hey, like always, I do these videos just as much for myself as I do for you guys, and this is one that I need to hear for me personally as we finish out this year, right? As we wrap up, we're literally a day, as we're recording this, we're a day away from the last freaking month of the year, which is mind-blowing to me. I don't know where the time went. I was talking to a business coach of mine the other day, and we were talking about the fact that Christian business coach too. So I'm like in the belly of I'm Jonah in the belly of the whale, right? I'm in this period right now where we're kind of, you know, there's some changes happening with my business. There's some things that I'm doing to kind of, I mean, it all stems from having an 8-week-old at home. But man, what I'm getting at is that at the end of the year, it's an easy time to just shut it down and coast to the finish line. But I'm going to give you three really important things that I'm doing right now that you need to do to finish the year strong, right? The first one is review, okay? We're going to go to the whiteboard today. You know what that means, review, okay? Go back through the last 12 months, okay? Analysis, 12-month analysis on what your year looked like. This is, I mean, get deep into the weeds here. Look at things like income, okay? Time investment, okay? Did you get to do the things that you wanted to do with your family? Did you get to do the things that you wanted to do with your business partners, your friends, your, you know, all of that stuff. Look at things like failures, wins, losses even, whatever. They call those failures as well. Do a deep dive over the last 12 months of what that looked like. Did you have fun? Was it fun? Was it enjoyable? Was it miserable, right? If you didn't have fun, if you're not where you want to be, if the last year you spent was not what you wanted it to be like, you got to know. On the contrary, if it was, like if you crushed it and you did really well and you're happy and you're spending time with your family and all of that stuff, make sure that you still review, because you want to look at the things that you did to accomplish that year, which is going to take us to the second R in the equation here. Renew. Okay, and I'll give you the third right now. I'm going to spoiler alert. Review, renew, and reset. Okay, renew. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to come up with a new plan. We may take pieces of the old plan that worked. We may get rid of the things that caused us losses or caused us grief or didn't get us to where we wanted to be, right? We're going to renew. We're going to put a new plan together. We're going to look at the year, the next year, so 2022. We're going to break it down into quarters. This is what I'm going to do, because what happens to me is it's like September and I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to start getting ready for open enrollment. And next thing you know, it's freaking November and I'm like, oh shit, we're in open enrollment. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? Shit, we're in open enrollment. Right now it's all of a sudden October. This year has been insane for me, right? With the birth of my son on October 5th, 10 days before open enrollment really like kicks off, right? Because for me, October 15th is kind of the start where you get to preview some plans and get ready. So that's kind of pre-open enrollment, but it's been crazy. So anyways, we're going to look at the year quarterly and we're going to prepare well in advance. Okay, we're going to have one objective per quarter. Okay, one objective, one big win per quarter, and I'm going to look at that on a calendar year starting now, right? Starting a month ago in reality. Like, this is stuff that I've been thinking about for a while. You still got plenty of time. By the time this video comes out, you're still okay. For me, and I don't know if this is everybody, for me, in the insurance industry, our fiscal year, if that's what you call it, I don't have a high business acumen, right? I'm freaking can sell and I have some fun doing it and I can train agents to do it, right? You can too. I'm just your everyday average guy. But for our fiscal year in insurance, I like to kind of think that it doesn't kick off until our first quarter is really the rest of the world's second quarter, because we're really kind of recovering after the fourth quarter into that first quarter. So I'm going to outline one objective per quarter starting in January, of course. But if you're the point of that is if you're behind the 8 ball a little bit and you're starting this planning in January. Make January a month of planning, right? Like the end of January, because open enrollment lasts till January 15th this year. So you've got plenty of time. Don't feel like you're behind. So you're coming up with a new plan, right? You're getting rid of some of the old stuff. So we'll cancel out some of the old stuff. We'll keep some of the good stuff. We're going to look at the year on a quarterly basis. We're going to break down month by month what our objectives are, what our goals are for that. Okay. We're going to do any types of new products that we're doing. We're going to do it on a month to month basis. Okay. And I'm going to map this out. Of course, this is and this is where it gets really tough for me, because I'm like, you can be like, here's black and here's white. And I'm like, nah, this is gray. And this is where I'm staying. I don't want the black or the white. I want to be in the gray area the whole time. So for me to stick to something like this is tough, right? So, but I got to remind myself that this is the rule and not the exception, or the exception to the rule, or however that freaking saying goes, where basically, hey, 1 month we may roll out 2 because we had these new products. And when I say roll out, they may be products that we're already offering, products that we're already selling, but we're just not kind of putting in front of our agents' faces enough. We're going to have objectives when it comes to recruiting, right? Recruiting, sales, content, training, etc. So that's how I'm breaking down the objectives per quarter, okay? So renew, you got that. That's planning, okay? However you want to plan, however you know what your agency needs, and maybe you know what it doesn't need after some losses or some setbacks or, whatever. But then the last thing is to reset. And here's how I'm resetting. So if you're going to be in Austin, Texas at the Digital Frontier Workshop, I hope to see you there, right? That's January 15th. I'm taking the last day of open enrollment off. I won't be off. I'll be with Mike Moore trying to keep up with what the heck he's doing. But the point is, I'll be in Austin, Texas, okay? And then from there, I'm going to I'm doing something that like I've never had the chance to do before. Like it almost makes me emotional even talking about it, because I just put my head down. I worked for the last 3 years, really. I got to separate, because I was successful when I first started insurance, and a huge setback, and then it kind of restarted again. And I've never had a chance to take my mom on a vacation, right? We didn't vacation when I was young. I didn't go on vacations when I was a kid. I'm not trying to get all emotional on you, but what I'm doing January 16th through the 23rd or whatever, a full week, is going to Grand Junction, Colorado, spending some time with my family that lives up there. And they've lived, I'm 20. I almost said I'm 22 years old. I wish. I'm almost 32 years old, and I've never seen my family in Colorado. They've come down to Florida when we were growing up and things. My cousins came down. I've never once made the trip out there to Grand Junction, Colorado. January 16th to 23rd, I am going to Grand Junction, Colorado, and I'm going to reset or recharge, right? So the 3 R's, we can even add a 4th: review, renew, and reset or recharge, right? So take a vacay, okay? Take some time with the fam and, spend it doing something you love. Maybe you need some solitary time. I know that I've requested a little bit of solitary time over there. It's going to be nice to hang out with family and all that stuff, but I do want to kind of use that time to reset, recharge. As I mentioned in the beginning of this, I feel a bit like Jonah in the belly of the whale, trying to kind of figure out what's next, and kind of in this unusual season, because it's uncharted territory for me. And so I want to use that time to really lay the groundwork, lay the foundation for what's to come next year. So finish out the year strong, because how you finish is oftentimes how you start, and how you start is oftentimes how you finish. See you next year.
I'm a health insurance hustler. Bradley Hannon's the name. I'm here to teach these agents how to play the game. I'm a health insurance hustler. One thing you should know about me: I'm a health insurance hustler. BradHannon.com.